In this section 2.2 from our sets module, we're going to be talking about subsets, relationships among sets. So in 2.1 we used the element symbol, and that was dealing with a member and a set. Be very careful. These will be dealing with two sets. So when you see the subset, proper subset, equal, or we also learned about equivalent last week, or in the last section, all of those are dealing with two sets. So we're going to go over notation and go over what it actually means for these definitions. So to be a subset, my symbol looks like an elongated C with a line underneath it. And I want you to think of it as a less than or equal to symbol. I think that's an easy way to kind of keep them separate. So we're still going to use the definition of if and only if, which means if you tell me it's a subset, this works, and if you can prove what I'm about to say, it is a subset. All elements in A are in B. All elements in A are in B. So everything in the first set, and that's important, order matters here, is in the second set. That bottom line, think of it as an equal to sign because it can be equal or less than. Going to our second one, which is a proper subset, I want you to think of it as a less than symbol. Definition here, if and only if all elements in A are in B, but A cannot equal B. So it's got to be a less than. Now when I say both subset and proper subset and a less than or equal to, and that like idea-wise, just realize again, that's just kind of getting the idea. The pure definition is everything in the first has to be in the second. So if there's something in the first that's not in the second, it's not a subset or proper subset. So I want you to think about this. Subset is a bigger picture. It can be everything in the first is in the second, or they can be the same. Proper subset, think of the word proper. It's more specific. So everything in the first has to be in the second, but they cannot match. My third one we talked about in the last section. When I say A is equal to B, it means that they have the same elements. Remember, the order doesn't matter that you listed in, but the elements are the same. So I'm just going to use one here example that's just kind of, again, just kind of to think about so they kind of see what we're doing here. So C is my students in this class. B is the students who make a B on the first test. I absolutely know that the students who make a B on the first test has to be a subset of C, because to get a B on the test, you have to be in the class. I actually hope that they're equal, that every single person here makes a B or better in this class on the first test. But I know realistically, what is probably going to happen is that B is a proper subset of C. You've got to make sure you differentiate between a proper subset and a subset. Be careful. Easy to confuse on the test. Number 2, this is an important question. So I want you to think about it. Is the empty set, because remember that's what this is, the empty set a subset for X, where X is any set you want to make it. Doesn't matter how big or small, doesn't matter how many members, what type of members. Is empty set a subset for every single set X? Your answer here should be yes, because remember, to prove something is false, you need an example. And the definition of a subset is everything in the first is in the second. Well, there's nothing in the first, so there's nothing to break the definition. There's nothing in empty set. So there's nothing that cannot be in that second set. So this is an important piece. Whenever you're asked for a subset, empty set always is the first one you should list. So we're going to do some examples now, looking at some sets, and then we're going to come back and do a few more definitions for this section. So remember our universal set, which is the first one listed on the top there, which is our U. That's saying the only numbers I want to consider for problems 1 through 14 that we're going to look at here next are the numbers, counting numbers 1 through 10. So I am not considering any negatives, fractions, decimals, anything bigger than 10. And now I'm also looking at sets A, B, C, and D here. So we're going to look at this and say true or false. And if it's false, I want you to be able to tell me why. Always be able to tell me why. Because again, I know it's a 50-50 shot, but as long as you're being able to explain that, you're not going to get these problems wrong. Quick problems to do in your homework. You're going to make mistakes. Please go back and review these true-false questions when studying for the test. So, number 1, 3 is an element of A. Element means that 3 is a member of A. If I look up here at A has got members 2 and 3. Elements are separated by commas, so my answer there is true. Going to the right, the set, this is the set 3, is an element of A. This is false because remember, elements, which is what this symbol is, would have to be separated by commas. And the commas separate just 2 and 3. There's no set around those pieces. If number 2 had said this, then that would have been true, because this symbol here is saying a set and a set. So that's the piece you need to differentiate between 2.1 and 2.2. My element symbol, which is actually the problem number 2, says it's got to be an element and a set. My subset symbol, now again, there's more to it, but it's got to be a set and a set. That's the first thing you should always look for. So going to number 3, this is a proper subset. So that's saying everything in A has to be in B, and they can't be the same. So if I look at A, I have 2 and 3. I look at B, 5, 9, and 10. So my answer here should be false. There definitely is members. Nothing matches at all. So my answer there is false. Number 4, that's saying proper subset. So we look at A, which is 2 and 3, and is everything that's an A in C, and C's got to be bigger. So 2 and 3 are in C, because C is 1, 2, 3, and 4. So my answer here is true. Remember, order matters. So looking at number 5, this is saying C is a proper subset of A. That means everything in C has to be an A. C has more members. It doesn't even matter any further than that. My answer is false, because 1, 4 are not in there. And again, it actually has to be smaller than that piece. Number 6, A is a proper subset of the universal. Universals, like, remember the counting numbers 1 through 10. A is 2 and 3. They're both sets I'm talking about, and A is smaller and included in U. So my answer here is true. Anytime you need to pause this and go back and re-listen to it, please do this. Stop and again, use that idea of descriptive for these pieces. Say it in your head in words. Some of you may be helpful to write it out in words. It's, again, what works for you to make sure you slow down and use that. So number 7, we're dealing with a subset, which means everything in the first has to be the second, but they can be the same, and that's what this equal to sign here is. So this is a set in a set, and they actually are the same set. So because that line on the bottom is meaning that they can be equal to each other, that's a true answer. Good one to distinguish between, again, showing that it's easy to misread something quickly. If we look at number 7 and 8, Number 7 was a subset. Number 8 is a proper subset, which means can't be equal. A equals A, so this one right off the bat is not a proper subset. It is a subset, not a proper subset. You're not going to have all of these, so that's what I'm saying. You've got to be careful with your symbols. Make sure you differentiate between element, subset, proper subset, and maybe something you need to data dump on your paper to make sure you have that piece down. It may help to do what I'm doing here and just write the word down below what that symbol is. So number 9, empty set is a element of A. This is false because elements would have to be separated by commas. So the only elements in A are 2 or 3. This is, again, one you have to be careful on. Look at the difference between 9, 10, and 11. The left and the right are all sets. Empty set and A are sets. The difference is what the symbol is. This was an element, so right off the bat, that is false. 10 and 11, I'm dealing with a set and a set, so I could use subset and proper subset, so I'm going to think about it further. The definition we just did above is empty set is a proper subset and a subset of every set, as long as A has a member in it. So 10, this is true for everything, because even if A is empty set, they will be equal, so we're good. Okay, so I'm going to say that again. It doesn't even matter what A is, but I'm going to write it out. This is this, which that is always going to be a subset because nothing in the first is there, so nothing can break the definition. The definition of a subset is everything in the first is in the second. There's nothing there to break that definition. Number 11 is true, but be careful. It's true for this problem because set A does have a member, so it's not equal to it. Okay? Meaning we're saying A has at least a member, so it is smaller than that piece. These are ones, again, that you might need to rewind and think about. So remember, number 12 is a proper subset. Number 13 is a subset. So they look the same. What I mean by that is you have the set, empty set on both sides, but you've got to differentiate. And again, what I like to a lot of times think of that as a less than or equal to. It's not exact, so please don't, if somebody says to you that that's what that means, but it's a way to kind of connect an idea that you already know. So number 12, this is saying empty set is less than empty set. If you think about that and say it in words, it's false because the second set has to be bigger when you use a proper subset. Number 13, because we have that subset symbol which has the equal to on the bottom, we are true because we're not breaking anything. They can be equal. So slow down. Proper subset and subset. You need to say it in words. Proper subset cannot match. Subset can match. When I say match, it means it can be equal. Last one for this one, empty set is a proper subset of the universal. Universal set above is defined and it has members. So my answer here is true. There's nothing in that first set that would break the definition. Everything in the first is in the second because there's nothing there.